Okay, so we're going to show you how to do a French toenail polish application from beginning to end. We've already done the right foot here. Now, this one is a little wonky looking because I'm about to lose it, so just ignore how that one looks. But we've got the white stripe just across the tips of them, and it's covered with the pink. It just gives you a nice, really cute, even application. When you're doing a polish application yourself, you're going to want to start with the outside of one foot and do one coat of each layer all the way across, and then come back and start here and go back again. What this does is it ensures that your layers have enough time to dry in between, so you won't get any dragging or pooling or anything like that. Now we're going to start off with the base coat on this foot. So when you apply a base coat, you don't need very much. You just need a really, really thin layer. What this does is it primes the nail and makes it so that any polish you apply on top has something better to adhere to and will last longer. Now, I'm only doing 1 or 2 strokes per nail. You don't need any more than that, and it's going to start to drag, and it just gets you in the good habit of covering the whole nail surface in as little time as possible. You also want to avoid the skin, because anything that gets on the skin is going to peel off eventually, and if it's got color on top of it, it's going to drag the color off with it, and that's how you get chipping. So we're just applying that to the nail. Okay. So at this point we would again have it go all the way across the other foot, so it would give it more time to dry. French can be a little bit difficult for people to get the white line even. Now there are a few tricks to it, the biggest one being of course practice. Now something that we learn in the spas when you do this is going to be using the right amount of color. I'm just going to show you how we do that. So when you take your polish, you're going to wipe the brush off on either side 2 or 3 times. And what this does is it's going to build the color up on the edges and not on the flat part. The flat part is too wide. With OPI, they have the Pro Wide brushes, which is really nice. So then we're going to go back down here. Now with the baby toe again, they can be a little bit strange, but you just go with it. And then you're going to take the thin edge of your brush and you're just going to drag it along the end of the toe like that. So there we go. I have a nice line right there. So again, I'm just going to dip my brush in, wipe it off either side to get the build up on the edge of the brush, and then we'll do the next toe. Now the first couple times you do this, it is not going to be perfect, and that's okay. You'll develop your own way of going about it. Some people can do it across in one strip. Sometimes it requires going from one outside edge to the other outside edge. So there you go. There's the next toe there. And to make this easier, you can use Kleenex to separate your toes. All we do is just bunch it together and the ends down and go across like so. This gives you a little bit of separation. It also gives you something to wipe your orange wood stick off with if you need to clean up any areas. The width of the line is entirely dependent on taste. It is entirely up to you how wide you like it. You do want to try and keep it fairly consistent through each toe so that it looks proportionate. Don't go over it too many times. The white pigment dries pretty quick and you don't want to be dragging the color at all. You do need a bit of a free edge to be able to do a French application, so don't have your toenails too short or you'll make life infinitely more difficult on yourself. And if you do make any mistakes like I did right there, because we just have a base coat on underneath, what you can do is take the orange wood stick and just, before it dries, quickly just wipe up anywhere that it's uneven. A little bit too much on my brush there, so it went a little too wide, but that's okay. It will level out a little bit, so if the white looks a little uneven in application, when it dries, it will be more even. So that's how we get the white tips on there. Now we would go through the other foot, which would give these time to dry so that we don't pull the color off with the top layer. You want to choose a light pink to go over top. We're going to go with this one by OPI here. It's just, again, a sheer light pink. And you usually only need one thin layer over top of that. So when we apply polish, we're going to do similar to what we did last time. So we're going to take it, we're going to wipe it on either edge, and we're just going to get the polish on one side of the brush. So we just have it there, not there, and you don't want too much because there's going to be more that comes down the end of the brush as we go along. So 3 strokes is all you want for each nail at the most. You don't want to be going over and over and over it, because as it dries you'll drag the color. Now toes are little, so you really don't need much polish on there. And again, try not to hit the skin because when it peels off it will pull any of that color off with it. And usually when you apply the pink it makes the white look a bit more even. You can kind of squeeze the toes, and what it does is it gives you more nail to work with as well if you pull that from the sides. I just need a little bit more color there. Most nail polishes will self-level as they dry as well, so don't fidget with it too much. Trust in your product. Now what you would do is you would go over top of that with a clear top coat, and that will make sure that it lasts for as long as possible. Anything that you need to clean up, you can use just an orange wood stick around the edges. You can wrap it in a little bit of cotton, dip it in a nail polish remover, and just tidy up. So that is how you do a French polish on your own toes.